So you want to get into big tech companies but don't want to go through countless interviews? If you're anything like me, you would want to make your job search as efficient as possible. In today's video, I'm going to share with you an easy path to get a full-time job at big tech companies. On this channel, we always give you tips and tools on how to fast-track your career in the tech industry. So if you're new to our channel, please subscribe. Let's do this! The easiest path that I'm talking about here is an internship. On average, it took me 2 interviews to get 4 internship offers during my master's in computer science. In comparison, to land a full-time job, you need to go through somewhere between 5 to 7 interviews. Another thing to note is, at most companies, the return offer you would get after your internship has a higher salary than what you would get otherwise. That's because the company already tested you for 3 months during your internship and they are more confident about your skills. They would even throw in some extra sign-on bonus just for you to accept the offer. Some companies give you a slightly higher level if you come through an internship. On top of that, you also have an upper hand on negotiations. That's because you have time on your side. Usually, you still have some time between your internship and graduation. And the thing is, companies know that you can land another job in that time frame. So they're willing to go the extra mile with you in negotiations. Now, getting an internship is one thing, but converting it into a full-time offer is a totally different beast. And just for you, here are a few strategies I used to convert my internship at Microsoft into a full-time offer. All tech companies don't give return offers to interns, so before accepting their internship, make sure the company gives return offers. 2 out of 4 companies that offered me internships gave full-time offers to their interns. One way to check for this is to use Blind. Search for return offers for the company in question and see if something pops up. Another way to do it is to check with your friends who have interned in the industry before. You may even ask your recruiter directly to see if they give return offers. It's very important that you choose an internship that aligns with your career goals. So before you accept an internship, you should define your career goals. There's perhaps nothing worse than reaching the top of the ladder and discovering that you're on the wrong wall. So be diligent about your goals to ensure that your ladder of success is leaning against the right wall. In my case, I wanted to build products that use machine learning, so I took an internship that helps me better understand how machine learning is being used in the tech industry. Within the first few days of your internship, you might start feeling lesser than your colleagues. Many tech workers report feeling imposter syndrome, so that's perfectly normal. Just know that if a company hired you to do a certain job, they believe that you're good enough. In the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the author talks about how a paradigm shift can completely change your outlook towards things. So if you're someone with a fixed mindset, switching to growth mindset can completely change how you feel about the situation. Someone with a fixed mindset, when faced with failure, would accept that they're not good enough. But someone with a growth mindset would see it as an opportunity to learn. So learn from all the challenges you face, take feedback constructively, and keep experimenting with new things. Week 1 is very important. People often say, all's well that ends well. Personally, I believe in the opposite. All's well that begins well. You want to make sure that you start your internship on the right foot. So set up one-on-one with your manager early. A few questions that you want them to answer are: what are the motivations behind my internship project? What is the expected outcome? How would you measure the success of my internship? Listen carefully and jot down all the answers so that you can refer to them later. Don't be afraid to ask clarifying questions. Your colleagues know the ins and outs of the team. They are going to be your biggest resource in your internship. They can point you to the right direction when you're stuck, or even give you tips on how to impress your manager. They will also make the work more fun for you. So get to know your colleagues better. Set up casual coffee chats with them and learn from their experiences. During my internship at Microsoft, I got assigned a couple of onboarding buddies. One of them had herself got a return offer from her internship. She gave me great tips on how she converted her internship into a full-time position. Communicating effectively is key to the success of your project, so be proactive and communicate regularly with your project stakeholders. This will provide you timely feedback and make sure you are on the right track. In the event of a delay, give an early heads up and don't just show up to a project meeting without any progress. If you've tried enough to solve a problem but failed, ask for help. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Talk to your manager regularly and ask for feedback on your work. This will give you time to show improvement and also provide you with good points to make a case for the full-time position. During my internship at Microsoft, I would send weekly updates to the team every Friday. The email included a brief overview of the project, progress made during the week, key takeaways, and next steps. Now coming up, I will give you a few more tips on how to look professional at work and how to show your impact. I also have a bonus tip for you at the end on what to do after you get an offer. So stay tuned for that, but first, like this video and let us know in the comments down below what other topics do you want us to cover in the coming videos. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about how to create a good impression and look professional at work. The easiest way to look professional is by being punctual, so show up to work on time. Whenever you set up a meeting, give participants some context by adding a meeting agenda to your calendar invite. A document or a slide deck can go a long way in bringing clarity and alignment among the stakeholders. After the meeting, send the meeting notes with key decisions and action items. Lastly, dress professionally. Maybe try not to show up with your flip-flops at work. Documentation is very important, so keep a record of the progress you've made in a document and share it with all the stakeholders. Apart from this, write your accomplishments in a separate document that you keep for yourself. This document will not only help you boost your confidence, but it will also help you make your final project presentation and bolster your case for a full-time position. Show initiative in your project. You don't get what you want in life, you get who you are. So don't be that intern who's there for 3 months just to build their resume. Instead, show some initiative, take complete ownership of the project, and act like you belong. Before we get to the bonus tip, I have one more thing to say, and that is, have fun at your internship. Participate in the intern events organized by the company and make new friends. Tech industry is very small, and you never know where your paths might cross again. If you follow all the tips that I shared with you, I guarantee that you'll score a full-time offer. Now for the bonus tip, don't accept that full-time offer just yet. Always negotiate your offer. Use various resources online like levels.fyi and Blind to see what is the right salary for your role. If you feel comfortable, talk to your fellow interns who got a return offer to see what they're getting. Lastly, go back to the accomplishments documents you created and refer to the notes from your manager's feedback. Use all these resources to negotiate a higher salary. If you want to learn more tips and tools on how to fast-track your career in the tech industry, watch these videos. Until the next one, au revoir!